Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Okay, let's take a look. There's not going to be too much information from my pump today, but let's take a look. If you can see, I spiked last night. My tubing got disconnected from my pump, so we really need to watch out for that. So I kept going up all night to where at 15, I think it was 15, oh no, 16.3. I did a blood test to determine if I had ketones. I had 1.5 ketones. So I took a correction dose for myself. It's 1 times the amount that the pump says. So all these little blue marks where the pump's saying, hey, we're going to correct here. Now currently, my pump is sensor warm up, which means it's a brand new sensor. It's sensor day. I don't do any finger pokes during that time. It should be coming soon. It may even go off while we're doing our chat here. Okay, let's take a look. Time in range was 80%. Last night kind of blew me out of the water. If you take a look here, it's above 20. So we know that you really have to work if it's above 4. Okay? Time in range is 80, which is still fairly good. Yesterday, average blood sugar was around 6.6. Last night, it jumped to 8.2. This is not a super day. Okay? It's not a bad day, but it's not a super day. So hopefully we're going to get things taken care of and get a better day. Today, which kind of stems off this, I want to start to talk to you about introduction of Control 2025. So this is where we're going to start discussing things about getting yourself into control. Stay tuned. Let's have a rip-roaring time. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Okay, it's time for that fun and exciting Control Day 2025. We just kind of finished up Control Day 2024. But now we need to start, and we're going to walk you through the steps again. If it changes one person, that's awesome, but we're going to get as many people as we can. On this channel, I have spoken a number of times about control and how important control is. So, why is control important? Well, first of all, your body's going to feel better. If at lower blood sugars, not extremely low, but between 3.9 and 10, your body seems to get used to things and keeps moving. Currently, I don't know what my blood sugar is, but before changing, I got it down to 9.8, which is just sort of in the range. I started drinking last night, and a lot of times because of my CPAP machine, I get very thirsty or just dry and drink water. But I was drinking quite a bit of water last night, and it didn't clue into me. And I finally took a look at my blood sugar, and it was 16. And I said, no. And I took my pump, tried to pull on this. It was loose. My tubing had been pulled out, and obviously without insulin going into your body, your insulin or your sugars spike really quickly. And it was showing how quickly you can turn on to DKA. I wasn't at DKA, but I really was starting to show ketones pretty quickly, and they came down. Right now, I'm feeling a hell of a lot better. So, that is why. When things like this happen and you're doing your best to be in control, most of the time, these little spike things can easily be adjusted. If you're constantly going high, it seems like your body gets accustomed to being high blood sugar, and you're constantly fighting to get back to that, and you feel like crap when you're down lower. You got to go through that, break through that, and start acknowledging your high blood sugars. Excuse me. Didn't get much sleep last night. Deal with it and move on. Start watching what your blood sugars are. We're going to talk about going to the doctor. We're going to talk about foods to eat, exercise, medications, glucometers, counting carbs. We want to get you all ready for March 17th, 2025. That's our magical day. I was looking when I was looking for a date, I originally thought, we could look into mid-January. The only problem with that was it was coming up too quickly before, and you wouldn't have time to take all the steps that we were asking you to take. So I pushed it back, and finally, another reason why I did not want to do a January 1st day was because everyone does resolutions, and it doesn't really work on that day because everyone wants to change all the bad things about it. So we push it back to a date that there's no other candy or food left around that is going to tempt you, and you can start with a clean slate. A day was coming up. It was St. Patrick's Day. And I thought, okay, let's start St. Patrick's Day. So March 17th, 2025 is the date for your control. Now, if you're doing control, awesome job. You don't need to listen to the lectures here. But outwardly, I want you to consider doing all the steps to get you ready to accept a controlled way of life. Dun, dun, dun. That's my big theme music. Dun, 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 dun. So, I want you, first of all, if you have a glucometer, is to start testing and write it down. Get used to a pattern. That's going to be our first step. All throughout this, you're going to be writing down patterns. If you have been using a pump unsuccessfully up to then, you should have a program like this that will tell you time and range, and you can write down the information straight from here. It'll also give you a number here where you can keep writing down those numbers. Whether you have the Medtronic pump or you have, I think it's T-Slim or Omnipod with a Dexcom, write down all your numbers. Make sure that you get used to doing something. We want to create your first habit, and that is important because, as I've said many times before in these videos, is that planning is the key to anything you want to fit your diabetes into your life, whether it be going away for the weekend, going out to eat. So you need to get used to writing down. And until you get into your system and you're set to go on your controlled day, start writing down your blood sugars. Make a commitment to do your blood sugars at least 4 times, 4 or more. And I say 4 or more because it can be where you want to do a blood sugar because you feel high or you feel low. One big step you're going to have to take a look at here is you're going to have to ensure that you don't get embarrassed by the numbers. I don't care what numbers you're recording. We're going to work at that slowly. So just write down the numbers. They're your numbers, and you're going to have to live with your choice. I know that sounds harsh, but it's something we're going to have to do to ensure that you get into control. Now it's now November. We have December, January, February, and March. We have 4 months in order to get ready and to get you into control. But in order for you to do this and go through the whole steps, you could go through the whole steps and say, oh yes, I'm going to do it. Well, when it comes time, you find out, oh well, this is tougher than I would. No, this is too hard. I'm just going to watch what I eat. I'll be fine. You need to make a commitment to see right through this. Personally, I knew I would go into the hospital. I'd be accepted into the hospital, and I would come out saying, oh yes, I'm going to monitor my blood sugar. I'd get a book and I drugstore either sells or gives away these little books. You can write down all the information for your doctor, and it would be nice for you to have a book of blood sugars so that when you go see your doctor, which is going to be a step here, you're not going to get away without seeing them because they're going to be your guide. And it's important that you'll set up a meeting. We'll discuss different things that you want to discuss in the meeting with the doctor. So this is just the introduction. We're going to start getting ready for Control Day 2025. Until our next visit with Control Day 2025, have a super day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.